Hello and welcome. I'm recording this video to promote one of my books and kind of talk about the series that the book is in. The book itself is called Outbreak, and it's the first book in a series called The War of Enlightenment, which is going to be a series broken down into other series and a couple of standalone novels and novellas, and kind of ties all of my fantasy books together. And the setting of the books is a World War I era, so it takes the themes of like World War I, a little bit from like Industrial Revolution areas of our history. It takes those themes and puts them into a fantastic world, like fantasy make believe world. Um, and I had talked about it to some other authors, and they're like, "Oh, so it's a historical fiction?" No, it's not. It is a fantasy with elements inspired from our history, but not within our history. And so far, the series is related to the Midnight Empire duology I wrote, along with the short stories that I wrote for that, which they were going to get published, but then I was like, I'm just going to leave them on my website. And then it's also related to my book, Honor Among Thieves, which is the precursor to this book. So this series is going to be a sequel to that series. And then there's going to be other honor books where they're going to have honor and then another name for the books. So that's going to become its own little anthology within this universe. And this book and other books in the series are going to be from multiple perspectives. That's not saying that every book located within the world itself is going to have multiple POVs. It's just the main books will have multiple POVs. And Outbreak is currently available. Honor Among Thieves is available. Midnight Empire duology available. The short stories for Midnight Empire are available on my website. And this fantasy series is actually the first major attempt I'm making at doing a series of books that are going to reach the level of my epic, I guess is the way you would put it. And all of the books are going to be relatively on the larger side to tell the stories of everybody the way it needs to. And the entire plot revolves around a world war taking place. That's why it's themed around World War I stuff. And part of that's because I'm a history nerd and I really like war history because of how important I think it is. Now, that's not me saying that the entire book is going to be violence, violence, violence. I mean, there's some characters that don't even throw a punch in the book, but they face and suffer from the hardships caused by other characters in the series. And for me, I think that's something that's important to explore is war and the effects it has on other people. Yeah, other fantasy books have done it, and that is great. There's been series that do it. I just want to tell my own version of it. And I also picked the era theming that I picked because everybody that's done fantasy that I've read, it has swords and shields, but you don't see very many gun based fantasy epics. Usually they're like video games or one off books, stuff like that. And I just wanted to do a whole series for it. Now, I am happy with the series as it is, but I will be re releasing a second edition of Outbreak when I finish the first edition of its new book, the new book in the series, Silent Mass. And each of the books are going to cover a different aspect of how different types of government take on war as a whole. Like, how do I put it? Like forcing people to pay for the actions of other people just because they descend from the same area, stuff like that. I don't know how to go over it without saying words that YouTube will get mad at me about. But go check out the book, and I hope you can enjoy the book if you do check it out.